All right. If you're like me, you definitely like podcasts, or else you probably wouldn't be watching this. But it also can be kind of difficult to take notes. Maybe you're like me, you like going on walks, right? When you're listening to a podcast, and you don't necessarily want to be stopping and writing things down. Maybe you're driving, you're commuting, you're in a train, whatever it is. For a long time, there hasn't been a lot of great options available for those of us who want to take that information and, maybe it's just one insight, or, you really do want to take a lot of information out of these podcasts. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how I do that. And specifically right now, as of the recording of this, how I do it using the Android phone. I happen to use Android, got nothing against iOS, or if you're using Apple products, that's great. There's already some good tools out there, but I've come across a new one for me that you can see in the background here that works across devices, which I love, and is not just Apple only, which seems to be the case with a couple of these great tools that I've heard about, like Air. So, real quick, I'm Adam with Productivity Academy. If you're into stuff like this, productivity, organization, personal knowledge management, automation, this is the right place for you. If you want to subscribe to the channel, you can get updates on this type of stuff. You can also check out the website at productivity.academy. Not only have content based around this, but also a podcast as well, full circle here, that you can subscribe to or just check out. It is published on the site as well if you don't want to subscribe. So let's talk about this. So I forget exactly how I came across this, but that doesn't matter to you. What matters is how it works. And I really like that they have the screenshots here showing exactly what's going on. So basically, you subscribe to a podcast. It's like any other app you've used. You can search for podcast in the app. You can subscribe or just listen to one. And as you start listening, you can use this star button. If you tap it, it will transcribe the last 10 seconds. You can hold it down, and you will see a little dial going around it with a number above it, where you can adjust the length of the transcription. So 20 seconds, 25 seconds, whatever it is you need. Really handy. And then you can see down here where you get a transcription. And something cool that they don't show on here is you can add a note below that. Once the transcription pops up, it of course takes some time. But if you did want to add a note to that, you can then type something in, or you could go back. Also, you can share these individual ones. Right here, you can see the little share icon. You can click on that, put it into email, social media, whatever you want to do. In my case, the way I focus on this, I want to bring it into things like Roam or Notion or Evernote, right, for personal knowledge management. So you can export this as text. And even more importantly to me now is that they do allow for exporting all of the notes, all of the transcriptions from one episode all at once. Huge time saver because, if you're listening to a podcast that's an hour, 2 hours long, you're likely going to have several highlights or several segments that you wanted to save. And then doing that one by one can get a little tedious. So I'm really happy to see that they have that capability. Now, the thing that I didn't see and I ended up asking them about after using it was, hey, can you guys, is this connected to anything? For me, a big one is getting it connected to Readwise. So that isn't connected right now. I just highly recommended to them that they may want to do that. I also was looking into things like Zapier, and so we'll see what they do down the road. They definitely have some plans. They got back to me and said, yeah, we're looking at adding some more updates this summer. But for now, having the export all options is really just, makes it a click or two to do it. Not automated, but definitely far better than having to take each individual transcription or little segment there. So really been enjoying it. Just recently listened to an episode on the Tim Ferriss podcast, and looking forward to finishing that up and exporting this all out into Roam, where I can add my notes, save it for later, have it for reference, and go from there. So highly recommend giving this a shot. Really clean app, easy to use. I picked it up and immediately understood there's nothing clunky about it. Interface is really nice. So if you're a podcast person and you're interested in saving that information, saving your highlights, using it for taking smart notes that you can reference and use later, give it a shot. Highly recommend it.